What I want you to watch here is the secret behind Ronda Rousey's armbar success. I want you to see every time that she goes into her armbar, she's going to finish it by crossing her feet. This is an essential part of making sure you've taken away the escape options of your opponent. There's many things going on when Ronda Rousey's doing her armbars, and each armbar would take a separate breakdown video in themselves. But I want you to watch when she finishes her armbar, she goes through, she passes, and then she crosses her feet. You see right there, she crosses her feet, and the person can no longer defend. Let's watch her do it over and over and over and over again. Here she goes, crosses her feet, armbar. She taps. She tapped her twice with that, where she armbarred her 2 times in a row in the same fight. She goes around, she throws her leg over. What does she do? She crosses her feet. The chick spins upside down. Her feet are still crossed. She's breaking her arm, and the arm's still being broken, and the feet are crossed. It's a terrifying feeling to be caught in an armbar and you have no possible way to escape. There's no toughing that out. You just feel your limb being broken more and more and more. Here's the armbar from the turtle with the shin on the back of the head to help you flip her over. Guess what she does? She crosses her feet and boom, she's got the armbar beautifully right there. Completely destroys her elbow. And watch her do it again. She's going through. She gets the hands up to defend, crosses her feet. And she extracts the arm. So mastering the way that you're going to be able to finish the armbar is a key part in getting really good at it. There you see she crosses her feet once again. You got to divorce the entries to the finishing ability. And what I show my students is I begin with the end in mind, where I teach them the best ways to finish the armbar, just like you're seeing now. And once they get really good at that skill, then I show them all of the entries like you're seeing here in the beginning stages of the armbar that Ronda's doing. I watched armbar after armbar, every armbar I could possibly find on the internet, and I took the repeatable success from the best.
So, on Danaher's Lex Friedman podcast, there's a remix version of him giving Lex Friedman some advice. It's actually great if you guys want to go on YouTube and look it up.
Let me tell you something. Don't listen to what people say. Watch what the best people do. Don't listen to what people say. Watch what the best people do. There's magic there.
And the chorus is Danaher going, let me give you a piece of advice. Don't listen to what people say. Watch what the best people do. And believe me, I've watched absurd amount of jiu-jitsu on the internet, more than I probably ever should have. And when I saw really effective people using the armbar like Rousey'S Gracie, like Ronda Rousey, they were crossing their feet throughout the entire duration of the armbar. And I believe personally this is the best way of doing it. As I said, there was a point in time where I only did arm bars for like 2 years, and I really tried to master the submission because I went down a rabbit hole, and there was so many options that I never knew were even possible. So let's check this out about the crossfeet armbar, either direction that you'd like, Alberto. So what I love so much about the crossed feet is that it takes away a lot of the problems of the armbar defenses. So if my feet are open, if I have open wedges with my feet here, there's this idea where if Alberto keeps on scooting closer towards the camera, Go ahead, Alberto. And getting his elbow to the ground. This is terrible for me. Once his elbow's on the ground, I'm trying to do an arm lock over my groin. This is no good, okay? And I need to constantly be aware of the fact that he's scooting away. However, if I'm here and I control his arm and I cross my feet, now I'm actively back heeling into his body. And if Alberto tries to move away from me, go ahead, Alberto, there's no chance, okay? And I have such an easy ability to go back and sit back for the arm lock. Another very important method about crossing the feet is I want the cross face leg, the leg that's on top of his head, on the bottom here. And then I reinforce this with my underhook leg. And if you see, this is exactly like we're in Keisagatame, where I'm controlling his arms from here. It's just another variation of perpendicular control, where I'm controlling both of his arms, okay? There's another great escape to the armbar, where if my feet are open, Alberto could take my leg and put it in between his legs, and then from here, get the elbow to the ground and start to come up. And this is another disaster for me when I have open wedges with my feet. This can all be stopped by simply just crossing my feet from here, okay? So this is a great option, and I have several hand fighting strategies that I want to show you from here as well. Also, another problematic option is if we're here and Alberto tries to bring his hands together like this, Alberto, and he tries to take this face leg off of his head, he could do that when my legs are open. But when I'm here and my legs are crossed, now take that leg off your head, Alberto, it's so tough for him to be able to separate these feet. Even if he goes to hitchhiker escape from here, where if I have my legs open, go ahead, Alberto, and he goes to hitchhiker escape, it's over for me from here. But if I simply cross my feet over his body, go ahead, hitchhiker, Alberto. Really, go ahead. And don't be nice for the video. Try it. Go ahead, hitchhiker. Okay, he's never going to get there for the hitchhiker if my legs are crossed. Okay, so making sure we cross our feet. And another important detail for the hitchhiker is making sure I glue this elbow close to this side hip. Having the elbow on this side can be a little bit tricky sometimes. But if I have my feet crossed, it's going to make it so difficult for him to hit the possible escapes. Now, I will say the only weakness of the crossed feet is that there is a potential for him to possibly start to come up and stack me from here. So if we're in this position, I can absolutely use my cross feet to bring him back down. And this will work, in my experience, 99% of the time. But sometimes I'm grappling with monsters, professional athletes, professional fighters, black belts that are very, very tough. And they make this really difficult for me. So when they get up, sometimes it can be tough to use your cross feet to sit him back down. So what I will say is sometimes from here, in addition to controlling the leg, of course, and using this to sit him back down, I'll open my feet just for a second so that I could use this leg and my hamstring on his head to stomp on the floor. And this action of stomping on the floor allows me to always sit him back down. And when we go back down, I go with my feet crossed immediately again. So the only time I'll open my feet is when he goes and he starts to stack me here, and I really want to bring him back down. Then I go straight back to the cross feet, and then we'll look at so many different options in how to take the arm from him there. But use the cross feet armbar as your #1 go-to option, and my promise to you is that you'll be hitting more arm bars more often.